Dr. Motzko here again. So this experiment, we're going to be covering friction, specifically the difference between static friction and kinetic friction and how both of them depend on normal force. So what I have here is SmartCart. I'm going to be using the SmartCart for its velocity measurement as well as its force measurement using the hook over here. And then I also have, I have a black background to help you see what's most important here, which is our friction block. So I have a wooden block. Pasco does sell this, costs an arm and a leg. So we have just a wooden block, and on it, on one side is felt, and on two of the sides is felt. We're going to be using the larger side with more felt so that we can get as much friction as possible. And this thing is actually pretty light, so I'm going to add to it a ½ kilogram to really give it some extra weight. And then, so we're going to get enough friction to be able to measure, that's the goal. And then we'll be adding these other weights. Each of these weights is 200 grams. So I have 4 of them here. We're going to add them sequentially and measure what kind of force it takes in order to move this guy. Before we start, I need to actually measure this friction block, or at least our initial mass. So I'm going to measure the friction block in addition to this initial 500 gram mass. Let's see, so that's 0 grams. And let's put this on here. And I get 640 grams. All right, so our initial mass is 640 grams. So we can put that aside. All right, let me get it positioned here so you can see it well. I'm going to put this over here. As usual, when we use our force sensor, we have to zero the force sensor. We look on our computer over here, which hopefully is recording, yes. We have our force sensor is saying not 0, so make sure there's no force on it. The string should be taut, and I'm going to 0 the sensor. All right, great. All right, so I'm going to pull this here. So here, this is going to be our initial run using whatever this was. What was it? 640 grams or something? Whatever I said before. This initial mass. I'm going to pull the SmartCart. The goal is to pull it until it starts moving. And so that moment, like right before it starts moving, it's going to show us our maximum static friction. And then I'm going to try to pull it at a steady velocity, and that will show us our kinetic friction. All right. So here we go. Let's press start. And pulling. It's going. All right, and keep it kind of steady pace. Okay. So there. All right, I gotta make this a little bit larger. Oh, that's a lot of noise. But it's okay. So we got, you can definitely see this peak up here, and then our static friction is kind of changing. Here, let's just try it again. Let's try to get you a clear one. Okay. All right. Ready? We'll do a second try. Okay. Okay, so our force sensor is 0'd. Okay. Start. Okay. Here we go. And I'm going to start pulling. Oh, I feel like moving now. Okay, that's semi-steady. It's hard to keep the velocity steady once it's moving, especially when it's moving this slow. But all right, hopefully that's good. You can get an average of this general area. I'll look, actually probably over here is where it's most steady. Okay, so let's add a 200 gram. Use this one. Try to distribute it a little bit. So I've added 200 grams, so it's a little bit heavier. Normal force has increased. Right, so let's see what happens. All right, so this is going to be run 2 with just 1 additional mass. Okay, there we go. Okay, now pull. Okay, Okay, there we go. We got a peak, and I'm getting better at the study. Okay, there we go. Let's move back here. All right, I'm going to add another 200 grams. I know it's a slightly different color, but it's also 200 grams. It's standardized, okay? So we have our 2 additional masses this time. Okay, and this is going to be run 3 with 2 additional masses. Okay. There we go. Okay. Ready, pulling, and oh, sorry. Trying to get this steady. There we go. Alright, there we go. Got a steady kinetic friction and definitely a max static friction. Nice. Alright. So next, let's add 1 more mass. Okay, this is going to be run. It's going to be run 4. All right. There we go. Nice steady friction for you guys. Okay, there we go. All right, again, we get our peak, and then it goes back down. Great. All right, last run, another 200 grams. Let's put this back over here. All right. There we go. So I have 4 additional masses on here. This is run 5 with 4 additional masses. Okay, pull. Oh. I'm trying to get a steady kinetic friction for you guys. Alright, around there. Yeah, this kind of stable area. Okay. Actually, now that I've gotten more practice with it, I'm going to go back and redo the first one and see if I can get a better kinetic friction for you guys. Alright, so this is going to be back to the first one. This is run 6. This is just going to be a bonus run in case you find it helpful to. Well, we'll see if it's a better kinetic friction or not. See if I have a steadier hand. It is harder because you have to apply much less force. But let's see what I can get. All right, so this is run 6. This is going to be our bonus run, just to see if we can get some nicer data. Okay, and start. Okay. Pull. And it's going. Whoa, it's so light, it's hard to keep it straight. Okay, but I think that's a flatter line for you guys. All right, so again, we have a peak and then flatter line. Bonus run worked. All right, so there you go. That's it for our for collecting the data for the friction experiment. Now it's up to you to go and analyze what happened, how did the friction force depend on normal force, and hopefully you'll confirm what we have learned in class. I think so. All right, well, good luck. I'll see you guys in the next video.